What if the Alamo you learned about was nothing but illusion, a myth carefully polished, concealing a horror story that no textbook dares approach? Picture confusion reigning, thick clouds smothering the morning, blood dripping from the battered walls, and a single witness, Joe Travis, enslaved, battered, and hushed, staggering through the wreckage with a memory so brutal, so disturbing, it would be locked away for nearly 200 years. Tonight, you'll finally hear the Alamo not as fable, but as slaughter, revealed through the testimony of its sole surviving soul. Neglected by memory, stalked by destiny, Joe Travis withstood the unimaginable and bore reality across flames and death. This is the record they conspired to erase. Treachery, savagery, and a concluding gesture of resistance resound with more power than any patriotic cheer. Please advance the channel, smash that like button, disseminate this video among fellow historians, and subscribe for more revelations you can't uncover anywhere else. Stay tuned, because after you know what Joe witnessed, your vision of the Alamo will never be unchanged. We defenders were shells of men spent to the very edge after days of endless patrol and unrelenting toil. On that last night, every man fought sleep until sunrise, only giving in just before the assault struck, sentries included, except their captain, who shattered the calm with a frantic call. 3 guards past the ramparts must have surrendered to the same deadly fatigue, for the alarm never came. The enemy's weapons struck hard and sudden, implacable and swift. I was in my master's chamber when the onslaught began. Colonel Travis jolted up, musket in hand, sword unsheathed, ordering me to keep pace. I grabbed my musket, chasing after him as he raced wildly. Travis climbed the barricade, voice hoarse as he yelled out to rally his troops. "Hold firm, lads! They're upon us! Make them pay!" A flash exploded from his barrel. I fired back with my own. Before the vapor cleared, Travis lurched, struck by a bullet. He sagged against the rampart, clinging to consciousness, his blood soaking the earth. Twice the invaders forced their ladders up, twice thrown back by embattled defenders, though I glimpsed only fragments. As soon as my master fell, I ducked into a storage nook, squeezing off shot after shot through a slit as the attackers surged in by the hundreds. By the 3rd time they charged, the gate held no more, and the invaders flooded in, a torrent of black smothering the yard. Everything after was butchery, savage and uncontrolled. Men scrapped with bare hands, rifle stocks smashing skulls, blades tearing through bodies, and pistols discharging point blank. No quarter offered, no mercy found, just brutal fight for survival until every Texas defender lay cold. Colonel Travis, dying and ruined in the filth, still clutched his sword as General Morris approached. The Mexican commander swung to deliver the final stroke, but Travis stopped it with a last desperate effort, ramming his own blade deep into the officer's belly. Both collapsed, locked in death. It was Travis's last act of rebellion. The few Americans still breathing fell back to the meager cover the torn walls provided, holding out as best they could until only a weak man named Warner stood. He surrendered, pleading for his life. The victors paused, waiting for Santa Anna. With a word, he commanded Warner's execution. Gunfire rang out as I lay hidden. Jim Bowie, I later heard, fired his pistol from his cot until he'd exhausted his shots. He was discovered horribly mutilated, hardly identifiable. Davy Crockett and his men were encircled by a barrier of bodies, their own and scores of dead attackers, a grim testament to their refusal to fall quietly. The women and enslaved people inside, myself included, survived for the most part. Just one woman fell, struck down by a stray ball as she dashed across the batteries. When the violence subsided, the officers searched through the debris, calling for any slaves. I approached, trembling. "I'm here," I declared. 2 soldiers confronted me, one fired, the ball ripping through my side. The other jabbed with his bayonet, grazing my ribs. I thought death was certain until Captain Berrigan barked at them to halt. In the aftermath, the Mexicans permitted most black prisoners to survive, along with a handful of their women, including the wife of a surgeon and her sister, Senorita Navarro. Both were escorted to their father, Don Angel Navarro, in Bixar. Mrs. Dickinson, widow of the lieutenant, and her young daughter also got spared, later sent north under a ragged truce. After the slaughter, Santa Anna mustered his men, forming them in a hollow square. He addressed them harshly, voice snapping like a whip. Soldiers bellowed in return, their cheers drowning out the silence. Santa Anna, taller than most, was simply clad, no medals or gold trimmings, just an officer's coat. Like a stern preacher, I recounted to the Mexicans when they quizzed me later. I was moved to Bexar, locked away for days, then walked out to see their military might. Rows and columns of infantry and cavalry blanketed the field, banners ruffling like vultures' wings overhead. An officer crowed about 8,000 troops, but any careful look at the battered ground and twisted trees revealed the lie. The field could not hold more than 4,000, no matter his boasting. Santa Anna personally interrogated me in a shadowed space, choked with the stink of death and fear. He scrutinized me, relentless, demanding the size of our force and if reinforcements would come. "Will there be more?" he pressed, pacing like a caged animal. When I hesitated, saying I knew nothing, he pulled back, his mouth twisting to a sneer. "No matter," he said coolly. "I already have enough men to plant my colors atop your capital." His voice dropped into cold amusement, as if savoring his words. Through a crack, I watched as the Mexican soldiers heaped our dead, Travis, Crockett, and the others, into a hideous mound. They drenched the bodies in oil, sparking a gruesome pyre, black smoke snaking into the sky and seeping into my clothes for days. Some among the victors grinned while tossing in broken lumber. Others averted their eyes, crossing themselves. Joe Travis's tale survived, but the difficult doubts it raises have burned hotter than the general's cruel fires ever did. His testimony smashes the fairy tale, compelling us to see the vicious heart of the Alamo's fall, truths hidden beneath fire, carnage, and denial for nearly 2 centuries. Why was Joe's voice omitted? What truths were so uncomfortable the conquerors kept them buried? As flames devoured the corpses and battle faded, one reality endured. History is never tidy or kind. It is tangled, bloody, and forever revised by the victors. So, what's your view? Why do you think Joe Travis's eyewitness testimony has languished in obscurity? And which further secrets might still slumber in the cinders of history? Leave your takes and theories below. Let me hear from you. If you want more buried histories that question accepted truths, remember to like, share, and subscribe. The story has only just begun. The dead disguise nothing, and neither shall we.